Hi there. In this screencast, I'm going to show you how you can send a scheduled email to your contacts using the Sellr e-commerce system. So if you take a look at the screen we've got in front of us here, this is one of our demo stores, and this is the control panel. This is the home page of the control panel. This is what you see when you log in. So the interesting bits you want to go to, it's in the marketing menu and email marketing and schedule emails. But we won't go there just yet because there's something I need to show you first. If you go to Tools, Options, Marketing, there's an important bit here called Marketing Seed. What this means is this is an email address that every time you send an email, that's an email address that will be sent a copy of the email. This is really important because when you're sending out lots of emails or any emails, you want to make sure you get a copy of it yourself so you know exactly what's been sent out to your contacts. Obviously, if you wrote the email, you'll know that, but sometimes you might schedule, 50, 60 emails in advance, and so it's useful to have a copy sent to you as well. So you know when you should be expecting to receive calls from your prospects and your contacts regarding the contents of whatever's in the email. So you want to put that in there. That's the Marketing Seed section at Tools, Options, Marketing. So now let's go back to Marketing, Email Marketing, Schedule Emails. And so this is where you can schedule the emails from. There's some options regarding this. If you click on Configure, this is where you set the email address that you want the email to appear that it has come from. Okay, so when it arrives in people's inbox, this is where it's going to appear to have come from. So it's really important. So enter those details there and click on Save Changes. Now to create a new email, you just click on Create New Email. And so you can either create an email based on a template, and there's 5 set up here already for you, or you can create your own template, or you can just create a custom email with whatever you want in it. So an email is basically just a really simple page of HTML. It's not as complex as a web page because you can't have that much complex functionality in it, but it's kind of a basic page of HTML. So we've got 5 pre-designed ones that you can use. Or you can get us to design a custom one for you if that's what you prefer. But so in this example, let's just take a look at one of these templates just quickly. So you click on the template and it brings up the editor. And of course you can just, type in your own text. These particular templates have lots of different sections in them. You might not want as many sections as that. If you don't, just right click on the title of the section and click on Delete Table and it'll get rid of that section. So there's loads of different bits. It's just there for you to kind of modify and use exactly as you want. There's information on the bottom. You're going to want to change the details in these links, for example. If you highlight that and click on the kind of link icon in the top, you can change the details of that and enter the URL you want it to link to. It's just like a standard editor, so you can create your email exactly as you want if you want to use one of these templates. But for the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to do a custom email. So if I click on Back and then choose Custom at the top. So this is super simple because you just simply enter your own HTML. That's the way I like to do it because it gives you full control over the email. Personally, I don't like all those emails that are full of graphics and that sort of things. You may do, in which case you probably want to use a template for that. But basically, using the custom system, you just simply paste in the HTML or just simply the text that you want to send in your email. So if I just put in the subject line here, this is a test email, then the HTML message. You want to create this like a normal HTML page. Which is really simple. You just want to have open and close HTML and body tags just like this, and then in here you just put the HTML that you want to send. So we thought and then if you want a line break, just put BR in those pointy brackets. That's a line break. I thought you might be interested in a great new offer. Yeah, so you can use tags in this as well. So if you put dear exclamation mark first name, then that will be replaced by the first name of the recipient. And also at the top there's a bit that says click here to unsubscribe from my mailing list. You want to cut and paste that and put that just at the bottom of the page as well. Put a couple of line breaks before that too. Everything is 50% off for April if you enter the code April 50. If you enter the code on the checkout basket, that's it. Cool. So that's kind of it. So I've created an HTML message. I'm not going to bother creating the text one. It will just send the HTML one, which is fine. The vast majority of people have the ability to receive HTML messages. In fact, it's a long time since people would have received text ones, so you don't need to bother about that necessarily. There's various different other things. There's another link here. You can paste that down there if you wanted. If they're not able to read your email for whatever reason, then you can say, can't see the content of this email. Click here for browser version. And that's kind of it. So we'll do that. We'll save, we'll click on finish there. So now this is the really important bit. So you can see it schedules this for tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you do nothing, that email will be sent to everyone in your contacts list, which could be thousands of people, at tomorrow at 10 a.m. So be really careful with this. So as soon as you get to this screen, you want to modify it and change it to exactly who you want to send it to. So when you decide who you're going to send it to, obviously that's going to be people on your customer relationship manager. If we just have a look at that for the moment. So the customer relationship manager contains groups of people. This is just showing all contacts at the moment. If you click on manage lists, in this case I'm going to create a new list. I'm just going to call it test April for that. And I'm going to make this what's called a user list. I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to go back to the CRM. And then there's a link here for lists. I'm going to put that person in that list. Test April, add to list. There you go, they're in that list. And then I'm going to go to our email and schedule it to go to that person. Okay, there's only one person in that. And so once you change that there, you definitely want to click on the Save Changes button at the bottom. There we go. So that email now is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and that's going to be sent to the list Test April. Of course, if you go to Marketing CRM, if you're unsure of who's in Test April, you just click on it from the drop down. And you'll see it's that one person. It's not even a real email address. This isn't really going to go anywhere. But if I go back to the email marketing schedule email screen, the best thing about this as well is now there's two things you can do. You can click on View if you just want to see the email. Okay, now that's interesting because I can see it's a bit rubbish because I haven't got a carriage return at the end of Dear Simon. All right, obviously it's quite a basic email. I'm sure you do something far more interesting in this. But let's just see how you edit that. So I'll just close that tab there. If we go back to the email here, if I click on Edit, then you can simply edit it. So of course I didn't put any line breaks there. Save changes, and now if I click on View again. So I put that nice return there. Oh yeah, I didn't say thank you. I didn't kind of sign off the email as well. It's not very good at this. So if I put in the bottom here, many thanks. The Sellr team. There you go. So edit that, save changes. Click on View. Dear Simon, I think it might be interesting. A great new offer available only to select customers. Everything is 50% off for April if you enter the code April50 on the basket. Many thanks, the Sellr team. Can't see the content of the email. Click here for browser version. Click here to unsubscribe from our mailing list. Okay, you don't want to forget that. Click here to unsubscribe from our mailing list because obviously there's privacy laws and things involved with that. But so that's it. So now that's set to send tomorrow at 10 a.m. Obviously, you can change it to whenever you like. So you just change the time. It sends on the hour. You can just set the date and the time. But there's one really other good, interesting thing here, which is you can click on Test. And when you click on Test, it will be sent to your marketing seed. All right. So that'll be sent to your marketing seed so you can test it. And you just wait a few minutes and that'll turn up. There's other interesting things as well on here. once you've created one email, you can clone it and copy it and then send it to another different group of people. Clicks, you can actually, using this link up here, you can create, there we go, that's the email just come in. There we go, and there's the email that's just arrived there. So we know exactly what it's going to look like for the customer. We've got the from address that we showed you there earlier on. There's the subject at the top. And then it's got the actual content of the email with various links in it. And you can click on the link to view it in the browser, and that'll open up in the browser. So yeah, I was saying you can create tracked hyperlinks to use in emails. This is really interesting. So if you have loads of links throughout your email, you can create hyperlinks which are tracked. And then if you click on clicks there, it will show you all the amount of times that each link in the email was clicked on. You can also have a exclamation mark, target exclamation mark URL. So what that is, if you use that target tag in the email, then it will track people going through to the URL you enter there, and that number will appear in the responded number there. We don't tend to use it for our emails, but you can do that. And also, once it's been sent, you'll see the count of emails that were sent and the read rate. Now, this is really important, right? The average read rate for an email is 10%. All right, so if you send 10,000 emails, you should expect 1,000 people to actually read them. And that's just a fact of life. The vast majority of emails will probably go into spam boxes, or people just immediately delete them without reading them. But that's just something that you have to take into account when you send emails. It's a volume thing. And also make the subject line really interesting and not kind of spammy. In fact, don't make anything spammy in the content. Focus on you know, I suppose in my example here, I was doing a blatant kind of sales email, but it's a really good idea to just send information that people will be really interested in, rather than really trying to push free things and money off and all that sort of thing, which is usually picked up by spam filters as being spam. So just looking at these emails here are actually, you know, these are real emails here. So you can see in this example here, sent 5,500 pretty much, 960 were read, which is a very good read rate. And out of that, 42 people delisted. Obviously, some people are always going to delist. So that's it. And then when it's been sent, it will just appear as a row like this with all the data in it that you can have a look. Hopefully that's been useful. So you want to experiment with the different types of email that you can send. As I say, we have various different templates on that. We can create you a template if you'd like, or alternatively, you can simply enter the HTML for the email. Now, interestingly, you know, really simple emails usually have a better read rate than ones with loads of graphics in. So you want to experiment with that. You know, a lot of online stores like to send, you know, heavily image-based emails, and that may or may not be a good idea, really. Especially if people are on their mobile devices and that kind of thing. They don't want to be spending data. Basically, they're not going to spend money on downloading images for a marketing email. So it's just these things you want to consider. So there we go. Hopefully that's really useful, and will help you get up and running sending a scheduled email really soon.